for our 2023 municipal candidate information session. This session is going to be just like previous years, just online, so that we can share it a little easier after. And let's get into the agenda for the day. Okay, so first thing we're going to go over is the life cycle of a ballot, just so that you all have a better idea of what we do leading up to election day and all the work that's going on before voting centers even open. After that, we're going to be looking at the online candidate resources. No doubt many of you are already familiar with these, but these are all the resources that are on our website and available for you all to provide information a little quicker. After that, we'll be taking just a brief look at the candidate guide, which we did update for this election. Hopefully you all find it useful and informative. After that, we'll briefly go over the campaign finance team and who you should be reaching out to with questions about campaign finance. Andy is the leader of that team, so you've all probably spoken with him already a number of times. And then we'll get into petition circulation guidelines. A couple of you have been reaching out about that. Hopefully all the questions will be answered in there, and we can move on, which petition circulation does start very soon. Finally, we'll move on to submitting the petition packets once you've gotten all your signatures, how that process works. Then we'll go into important dates for you to keep in mind, and the services that we offer for voters at voting centers. This will just be information that you can share with voters if they ask you while they're signing petitions or something like that. You can say, well, you can get all these services done at the voting centers that the Denver Elections Division operates. And finally, we'll be closing out with contact information so you guys can reach out to me. Most of you already have my email address and my phone number and Nick and Andy's, but just in case, we'll be going over that again one more time. So, life cycle of a ballot. First step is the ballot content is certified. Of course, this happens after petitions have been accepted and all the candidates are determined and made official. We send that information to the Secretary of State for a ballot certification. After we get that, we design the ballot all in-house, and then they're printed at our print vendor. The voting tablets are set up for the voting sites, again, in-house. And then from there, ballots get mailed to voters. This happens 22 days before Election Day. It's the same standard across all the elections. On the first day that our main office opens as a voting center, all the drop boxes across the city open as well so that voters can deposit their ballots. All the ballot boxes look like this. If you've never seen them, I'm sure all of you have. There's over 40 across the city, so they're kind of hard to miss. But they open on the first day that our main office opens as a voting site. After that, we spend time, election judges spend time in our main office preparing the ballots for sorting, getting them ready to be counted. Signatures are verified. And again, this all takes place at 200 West 14th Avenue. And then, the magic happens. The ballots are scanned and results are tabulated. This is a pretty brief overview of how the process takes place, but we just wanted to give you all kind of an understanding of what we're doing on our end as the election moves forward. Okay, and now we'll move on to our online candidate resources. As you all know, we have our campaign hub that features our candidate tracker, and it also features information on poll watchers and election judges. If somebody reaches out to you about doing either of those things, they can always find that information readily accessible on our website. And we also have PDF copies of all the forms that are required of you all as candidates. So if you need to update a form, you can always access it there and send it our way. We can provide you with paper copies here at our front office as well, but this is just a little easier if you want to look at it beforehand. On our website, we also have a data and map section. There you can get general voter registration data and maps of the city. You can also request specific ones from our team. There is, some turnaround when a map request comes in, but usually we're pretty quick about it. You just have to be very specific about the information that you want and how you want the map to appear. But our office can do that all for you very quickly. finally, we have our campaign finance resources that are available online. As you all know, the campaign finance reports are submitted online through denver.maplight.com. This is the only place the campaign finance reports can be submitted, so you should all be quite familiar with that website. And on our website, we also have guides for campaign finance and a calendar for the filings. And we have a fair elections fund tracker. So if folks just want to know what candidates specifically are using the fair elections fund, they can use that tracker for that. Move on. And so this is what our new updated candidate information packet looks like. We tried to make it as comprehensive as possible for you all and address all the questions. And in the packet, there is a calendar of important dates that you can use as a reference. And there's also a candidate checklist so that you can make sure everything that you have to submit to us before your name is placed on the ballot has been done, and that everything that is required from you is completed. And I'll move on to campaign finance now. As I mentioned earlier, Andy and Nick are our campaign finance team. I'm sure many of you have spoken with them already. They also handle all the fair elections funds and any questions related to that. And their email is pretty easy to remember, campaignfinance@denvergov.org. And that's their phone number there on the bottom. Nick and Andy have an incredible response time. So any question you reach out to them with, they'll have an answer for you, as long as it involves money. That's all I want to make clear to folks. If the question involves money, ask Nick and Andy. All right, I'll move on there. And we'll get into petition circulation guidelines. As you all know, Measure 2L passed in November, which moved up our deadline for petitions substantially. So we, in response, moved up our start time of circulation to December 14th, which is this Wednesday. Our office is well prepared. We have, enough petition packets for everyone. So December 14th, you can come into our office at 8 a.m. That's when our office opens, 8 a.m. and request as many petition packets as you'd like from our front counter. I'll be there as well on the 14th. If you have any additional questions or concerns that have come up since the end of this information session, I'll be there to answer them and make sure everybody gets all the petition packets they need. Additionally, I just want to make it clear to everyone that e-sign will not be available for this election. We're currently in the process of rebuilding e-sign, and it's just not going to be available for this one. And again, we will have more than enough petition packets for everyone, but e-sign won't be available for this election. And then I'm going to get in briefly to the circulators requirements. First up, they must be at least 16 years old at the time of circulation, and they must be a U.S. citizen. So circulators don't need to be registered voters, but they do need to be U.S. citizens, and they do need to be at least 16 years old. And additionally, only one circulator may circulate a given petition packet. What does this mean? Well, if you have a team of volunteers, they're each going to need their own petition packet, right? So volunteer one can't fill out half of fill out half of a petition packet and then hand it off to another volunteer to get signatures on the other half. One petition packet, one circulator. It's very important. Just want to make that clear to everyone. And another important aspect is that petition packets may not be disassembled in any way. So if there's any sort of evidence of disassembly, we have to invalidate the entire petition section. Okay, so it is essential that your team not be out disassembling the petition packets or doing anything like that. If a petition packet gets damaged, we can just provide you with a new one, no problem. But again, disassembly would invalidate the entire packet, so don't do it. And at the end of circulation, you'll be asked to submit a list of all the circulators and notaries that you used. Our office has a template for this list. It's an Excel spreadsheet. If that doesn't work for you, just reach out and let me know, and I'll figure out a different way to get this template set up for you. But we do offer it once you or your representative comes in to pick up the petition packets. I'll ask them, is this the best email to reach out to you guys? And if it is, then I'll send them the template right then. Sorry. And this will be due when you guys come to submit your petition packets, and you could just email me with the filled out template. And then we'll get into, so how many signatures do you need? Well, for citywide offices, it's going to be 300 signatures. So for mayor, auditor, city council at large, it's 300 signatures. You can get as much as you'd like. We always suggest getting at least double, just in case some of them are invalidated. But again, 300 signatures for citywide offices and 100 signatures for district council seats. So District 1, District 5, 100 signatures. Again, we suggest getting double. You can get as many as you'd like, but that's the minimum requirement.
Kevin, there's a couple questions related to this slide.
Yeah.
How many packets can campaigns pick up each?
Oh, sorry about that. As many as you'd like. You know, we can't really put a limit on you guys. 6 is already double the amount of signatures you need. So each petition packet can hold up to 100 signatures, right? So if you're running for a citywide office, 6 petition packets will be double what you need. You can ask for 10, you can ask for 20. We'll figure it out for you.
Great. Those seem to be the questions.
Okay, and I think there's one about the template. We require a list of circulators and notaries. If you'd like that template beforehand, Max or Tiffany, I can send that your way, definitely. It's the same one that we send to all of the groups. So the determinations for valid signatures, there's a lot of rules on that. They're all posted on our website under election rules. But you can look that all up, and I can send it your way as well. I can send you the citation, but it lists all the various reasons why something may be invalidated. And as Andy said, we're just in the process of rebuilding eSign from the ground up. And so just won't be finished in time. All right. And if everyone's all right with it, I'm going to move on from this slide. Let's see here. The requirements for the circulators list is pretty simple. Just name and address. You'll see it in the template. It's not too much information, and we do need the notary ID. So your notary will have that for themselves, but I think that's the most complicated bit of information. So I'll move on to the next one here. Once you have all your signatures and you're submitting your petition packets, how does that work? Well, first thing to know is that they're due by January 19th. Again, 2L moved this date up. So January 19th is the deadline for completed petition packets. If you submit petition packets on the 19th, you won't have the chance to cure signatures. All right, so if some signatures are invalidated or you fell short by a bit and need to get some more signatures, you need to make sure that your petitions are in before the 19th. The affidavit of the circulator, which is at the end of the petition packets, must be notarized. All right, our office can do this for you. Everyone at our front counter is a notary. So as long as the circulator comes in and asks for a notary stamp on the form, we'll provide it to them, no cost or anything like that. Once the signatures are verified, you'll receive a notice of sufficiency or insufficiency from our office. That'll come from our elections admin box. It'll be a letter that just gives you a breakdown of the numbers. This is how many signatures you submitted. This is how many were deemed valid. And that's for your records and for ours. And at that point, the next thing for you will be lot draw. I also want to point out when you or your representative come to pick up the petition packets, we'll be providing you with a candidate acceptance of nomination form. This form is very important because it sets how your name is going to appear on the ballot, which has to match your petition packets. So pretty basic information. You just need to write your name on it and sign it, but it is essential that we get this form. So if for whatever reason you don't have the form when you come to submit petition packets, we can provide you one at that time as well, but it is vital that this one get turned in as well. All right, let me check the chat for questions here. Okay. Yeah, Brooke, sorry for the confusion there. We anticipate that you guys will be turning it in with your completed petition packets all together at the same time. And next one here, important dates. So as I said previously, petition circulation, December 14th to January 19th, 5 p.m. deadline. Our office is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So any date and time that you could fit picking up your petitions and submitting them to us in there at the front counter will be available, and they'll have petition packets for you. Lot draw is in early February 2023. Haven't set a confirmed date yet. Once we do, I'll be reaching out to all of you to provide that date and time for you all. It will be after business hours. So traditionally, lot draw is usually at around 6 o'clock. Can't say that that'll be the case for sure right now, but I would say plan with this time and ahead. And to answer the question on where the template comes from, I send that your way. So if you guys want to reach out and ask for it, I can send it to you now. I was planning to send it all to you when petitions get picked up in the first place, but up to you guys. Oh, Marty, sorry, I just saw your question. The earlier you can get into petition sections, the better. For runoffs, the ballot order determination is not done by lot. It's done by who turned in their petitions first. So it is very beneficial for you all to get your petitions in as early as possible, but also for us as well, so we can process them. Nick, lot draw is we choose names out of a hat. Well, not out of a hat, but that's essentially all that's taking place. We have a bingo ball roller that we choose the names out at random, and that determines the name of the orders on the ballot, as Brian put in the chat there. It's very exciting. Maybe we should move on to a hat eventually. Let's move. And then the municipal election itself will be March 13th through April 4th. On March 13th, our office will open as a voter service and polling center. So, people will be able to come in and get their elections materials as early as they need them. But that's the timeline for the municipal election, March 13th through the 14th, through the 4th. Sorry, everyone. And then the runoff will take place on June 6th. So pretty tight window there for everything. And then I just wanted to show you guys what our, so every election, we post this sort of information guide on our website so that voters can use it. We ask that if folks are asking you about information on where to vote or the times that you share this with them, this will be the most up-to-date and accurate document with that information on it. As you can see, it features all the dates for the for the municipal election and all the dates for the runoff, including the risk limiting audit and all that stuff that happens after the election. So if you're curious about that, all of those things will be posted in this document. It also features all our voting locations and all of our drop boxes that I mentioned earlier. So we have 43 across the city. If someone is wondering, Brian, that's a good question. I believe that the answer is that they start mailing out on the 13th, but I will double check that for you.
Once they're received at the post office, some potentially could go out the same day, but they tend to go out the next few days afterwards.
There you go. Thank you, Andy. Oh, okay. Sorry guys. Okay, so as we mentioned earlier, we have the voter service and polling centers all across the city. If folks ask you what they could do at these voter service and polling centers, these are all the services that we offer there. So basically anything that a voter would need to get done at our main office, they can do at a vote center. If the vote center can help them, we'll figure it out and see how we can help the voter. But VSPC will be their best first resource during election time. All right. And okay, that's all that we have for the presentation there. Thank you all again for attending. And if you have follow-up questions or very detailed questions that you can't think of now but come up after, you guys can always reach out to me. Here is our general admin box, which I monitor every day just in case a question comes up, but that's also my direct phone number there. So if you guys have questions about petitions or about how the election process works or anything like that, you can always reach out to me at that phone number or at Kevin.Castillo@denvergov.org. And then underneath is campaign finance. Again, campaign finance@denvergov.org. Something I do want to reiterate to folks, we can't give legal advice. So if you have legal questions, we recommend getting some representation. Gonna look through the chat here really fast, make sure I didn't leave anybody hanging. You do have to be a registered voter to sign petitions. Yes, thank you, Greg. Jess, so every circulator does need to have their petition packet notarized. Again, we can do this at our office. So if they fill out their whole petition section and they just want to come stop by here, get their affidavit notarized, we can definitely do that for them. Max, you don't need to tell me how many packets you're picking up. It's kind of up to you guys. We have a few hundred. I'm gonna make a few hundred more. Yeah, again, you only need 6 to get double your required signatures, but however many you'd like, we'll figure it out. Oh, I apologize, Brian. I mean, it's just first and last name and address information on the signature line. If you look at the sample on our website, it's pretty simple and easy to follow. Voters need to provide their first and last name and address information, and then the circulators need to fill out the affidavit at the end. I apologize if that wasn't clear enough there. Okay, and then as a few before we close out, just wanted to go over a couple more things with you all. Election night. Brian, I apologize. I'm a little confused by your question. You're talking about a difference between the petition packets for elections fund candidates and just general candidates? Because if that's the case, it's all just one petition section. There's no difference there. Gotcha. Okay. I would have to look into that one and get you an exact citation. I would recommend it just to make sure that their most accurate information is being provided on the petition packets. But I would have to double check. Yeah.
We'll make sure to include that question in our email out to everybody after this call, so you have it off. Everybody has that same information.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double check on that one. But yeah, so to get back to what I was mentioning earlier, on election, the way that election night works, so you all know, reporting wise, first results go out at 7 p.m. All right, and then we continuously keep sending out updates every hour and a half after that, until midnight, and then, you know, how results are, the frequency of results after will kind of depend on what our volume's looking like. So, you know, hopefully everybody votes nice and early, and we can get you guys a really, you know, good set of results early on. But a lot of people like to vote on election day, which means it takes some time to count everything. So, just, you know, we're working through the night, and we're working to get everything done as fast as possible following election day. Just wanted to let you all know that. Secondly, if you or anyone from your campaign would like a tour of our office before election day, you can reach out to me for that. I'll book that for you and get you a tour guide around the whole office. The tours, just so you all know, are just going through our processing rooms, which we have videos of online. So you can also just review those if you'd like. But if you wanted an in-person tour, we can make that happen, and just send me an email and I'll figure out date and time with you. All right. Well, that's all I have for now. If again, as I said previously, if you have any new questions, you can always reach out to me. And Brian, I will get you an answer on that by the end of today. All right. Thank you, everyone.